Biscuits with Bosses is supported in part by Off Duty Thanks, a gift and apparel brand that invites connection while respecting boundaries. Listeners might enjoy the Off Duty Producer t shirt if you are an entrepreneur like me, especially when attending film festivals or markets. Imagine you're at a networking event and you want to start shaking hands, but you don't know where to start. By wearing an Off Duty Producer shirt, you invite people to approach you and ask you about it. Now you're meeting more people in a shorter amount of time, but you also have the ability to keep the interaction brief. Just grab that contact info and make a date for a more thorough conversation over coffee or tea and biscuits. Right now, Off Duty currently offers apparel for actors, artists, cinematographers, composers, directors, designers, editors, musicians, producers, and writers. However, if you need a permission slip to say no, you can just choose the original Off Duty Thanks apparel. It's a wonderful gift for anyone looking to rest and rejuvenate. Just a heads up, everybody, these are adults having adult conversations, so there is the possibility of adult language. Hey there, party people. Welcome to Biscuits with Bosses by Owl Echo Entertainment. It's the podcast where we get to know leaders in the film and television industry over a spot of tea and biscuits. I am your host, Kay Ross, writer, filmmaker, founder of Owl Echo Entertainment. Now, I have been in the industry in some form for the past 20 years. So theater, television, film, and I gotta tell you, I am still learning. I'm still growing. 6 years ago, I did move away from my hometown in Washington, D.C. in search for something more than just my original trajectory to become a production manager in television. Now, I chose Los Angeles to pursue the more creative side. I knew I wanted to write and direct, but honestly, I never imagined I would have to become an entrepreneur to do that. I'd have to become a boss. Since moving here, I've been on so many coffee dates and honestly just met some truly incredible people. But the industry moves so fast. So now is the time to share what I'm learning as I learn it. And I want to get to know the leaders in the industry the only way I know how. Ted Lasso style. Now, every week we chat with a new guest who is an active influence in the media industry. We get to see the human side behind the role. We get to celebrate our victories together on our way to that big success. And we get to explore what we can do to elevate how we do business, inside and out. So this podcast is intended for professionals in the entertainment industry, but also fellow entrepreneurs. We want to learn from each other. So go ahead and grab your favorite drink, tea, coffee, water, we don't judge here, and join us. Now, we would love to actually hear from you. So if you have anything you're celebrating, feel free to let us know. If you have any questions for our guests, just leave it in the comments below. Hi guys, happy Friday. So funny because I can see the screen in front of me saying it's still trying to go live. And then I'm looking over to the left. I'm like, nope, we here. Happy Friday. My name is Kay Ross, the writer, producer, CEO of Owl Echo Entertainment. And we're back with another weekly Biscuits with Bosses. With me today is my lovely Ed McMahon, Mr. Matthew York. Matthew, welcome. Happy Friday.
Hello, happy Friday. Thanks for having me. Love being here.
You know, I love having you here. If for nothing else, because you play along. I love people who play along. It makes me so happy.
I don't have to play along. I just want to be here. I love this.
Aw. All right, you can stay.
Yes. Yes, I get to be on a podcast. I've always wanted to be on one.
I've always wanted to be on a podcast. And not just once, but twice now. Goodness,
Twice
actually,
now.
technically 3 times, because the first time we tried to roll out a podcast, I was like, Matthew, come out and answer some questions for me.
Yeah, like years ago, and then the world shut
Years
down.
ago. Yeah. Yeah. But that was also like before podcasts actually blew up as a thing, because the world shut down. Like the mentality was podcasts would only ever be recorded and would only ever be audio. Like there was
Right.
definitely, a shift, I think, the moment everything went in-house. This is actually a podcast built on us as people in the industry talking with industry leaders and getting to know them Ted Lasso style, thus having a bit of tea, although today's a coffee day. I gotta tell you, I'm full Ted Lassoing it because I'm also moving, so I need a little boost. Um, and other than Ted Lasso style, getting to know you, it's also, diving a little deeper and seeing what we can do, you know, through this podcast, but also in our individual efforts to elevate the future of filmmaking. Because there are a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah.
Which before we get into the getting to know you, I'm curious, Matt, have you heard anything about the industry right now that's like on your mind?
Uh, no, I have not. I mean, other than I feel like there's the usual fights for like don't use AI art and stuff like that. I'm a big advocate for like paying for art and having good art made by real people. Like whatever that is, like art is subjective, but like I know that's been a thing for a bit. But why? Has there been a new headline or something that I've missed?
There has, and I only want to bring it up because it has been all the talk, all the rage, as you can imagine, because there are a lot of people in the industry, but there are even more people that want to be in the industry. And
Sure.
one, I hate saying easy way, but um, a way that does not require you to, uh, you know, upend your life and move to LA like we did is actually becoming a screenwriter, right? Because
Mhm.
especially if you're a screenwriter for feature films, you can write that at a distance. Literally write it and pitch it, both things at a distance, and then sell it. Like you don't even have to be part of the filmmaking process. Just pump them
Yeah.
out. Um, and one such place that was very well known for helping screenwriters all over the world was Coverfly. And IndieWire is one of the many that have reported about it, but IndieWire recently reported that Coverfly is going to shut down. I believe August, September. Um, and there are
Wow.
still plenty of other platforms that still do what Coverfly did, including the tracking board, including the script lab, including Screencraft, including the blacklist, including Stage 32. So you can imagine why this is huge for us, because, again, my day job with Stage 32 has very much hinged on being a global platform, being, community first, and all of these other things come as part of that package. So I think a lot of people are feeling kind of that gut punch of like, oh, this has been such a huge resource for so long. What am I going to do now? And so I say to you, do not toil because there are other ways that you can still get yourself out there as a screenwriter without it being Coverfly. Um, yeah, which Matthew, I feel like you're like very editor focused and not a lot of screenwriting focused, but you could do your job at a distance too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all of my clients, I mean, you were remote. Like that is the joy of at least digital media and being kind of behind the scenes is like you can do it from anywhere. And that has been such a great part of post COVID basically is everyone's been like, "Oh, we don't have to go to our places to do our job effectively. In fact, we're more effective when we don't always have to leave and go to places." And I think that's been a really good resource. So I'm sorry to see that this is being canned. That really sucks because I imagine that was such a great resource to so many people to get in contact with other people like that you would ordinarily never do. Like you could only do that at a convention or at in LA or like if you already had some really expensive person's number or something. That's really unfortunate.
It is. But you know what? I feel like I just had this conversation with another professional in the industry who was like, the theme in Hollywood is always like the sky is falling. There's always something going on that makes it feel like it's the end of Hollywood as we know it. And yet
Sure.
we find a way to circle back around to kind of buoy back up. Um, we felt that way when we went from film stock to digital cameras, right? We
Right.
felt that way when we went from DVDs and Blu-rays to streaming. And even when Netflix completely changed over to streaming only, because they used to do that, mailer thing, which was
Yeah.
awesome because
Yeah.
then we didn't have to like go into a store and do the whole Blockbuster thing. Um, and yet, right, we always find a way.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like that's my news and message of the day. Thank you for listening. Um, Actually, I'm kind of curious now because editors and not that what you do is elusive to me because clearly, I went to film school, but like what are your online resources? Like if like Coverfly and the Blacklist and Stage 32 are the resources for screenwriters, like where do you guys go as editors for your resources or like the network?
To network, I don't know. I wish I had more resources on that. Um, it's I feel like it's largely word of mouth and, hopping from client to client. Like I've talked to you and you're like, you enjoy my work and you think what I do is cool, and then you meet someone that is like, hey, I am starting this new thing, or I've been looking for this thing, and then you're like, well, actually, I know a guy that is pretty good, and even though he's remote, he does good work, and then you give him my social media or whatever, and then like that's how I do it. I don't know.
Mm,
I have gotten really fortunate with the positions I've gotten in. My first internship, I won. I shouldn't say I won. I got because of a Twitter post, basically. Uh,
wow.
yeah, the my first clients were like, "Hey, we're looking for a new editor, and just someone who's new and doesn't, is looking for a place that they can learn from and stuff." And I was like, "Well, I record my own stuff and I edit my own stuff, and I'm in college. I think what's the worst that can happen?" So I, emailed the thing, and that turned it in. I was like, "I'm such a big fan, blah blah blah. Been watching y'all for years. Here's my stuff." And then like a month later, they responded back like, "Hey, you're in top 20." And I was like, "Whoa." And then like a week later, they were like, "You're it, kid." And I was like, "What?" And
Aw.
that's I've been riding that high ever since. Um, so I don't have any great advice or any great real way um to anything to offer to like other editors, but I can say that I can confidently say I failed my way to success. And I'll take that. I'll take it where
Well,
I can get it.
all right. I know we know each other fairly well, but I have the deck if you want to do a little Ted
Absolutely.
Lasso getting to know you time.
Of course.
Did I tell you last time that apparently I did not read the instructions and blue were actually the version that you should start with because they're like, like the kiddie pool. Because we
Wow.
dove into green, which was the second level up, which is why it was a little deeper than we were expecting.
It's all good.
Um, so I leave it to you, blue or green.
Uh, let's do blue. We did green last time.
Blue it is. And for those of you who are just now tuning in, what we're doing in order to do our Ted Lasso style getting to know you is pulling from this deck of cards called Actually Curious. And Actually Curious is exactly that. It is a card game built on the idea that sometimes the best part of the game is getting to know you. So it's these little prompts on each of these cards to help you have really interesting discussions and, deeper discussions get you really to the point of getting to know each other. And I've completely forgotten what you said. Green, blue.
Let's do blue.
One,
I
two,
realize they
three.
match my glasses.
Yes, blue for the win. All right, my friend, we have one, two, three, four, five. What is your preference?
Let's go three. Perfect
Three it
middle.
is. Yeah. All right. And it says, would you prefer to live the remainder of your life with a 30-year-old mind or body?
Ooh. Uh, well, I'm not there yet. So I suppose. with limited information body, I guess, because I feel like as you get older, it would be better to have like younger joints and stuff than a younger mind. Maybe? I don't know. What's your answer?
I honestly, I tend to think the same. First off, because we forget that your brain is actually part of your body. So having a younger body helps to keep your brain healthy. I think it's alluding to this idea that like your emotional maturity won't get past
Sure.
30 years old, and at which point I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah, right. Ugh.
Uh, so I feel like that one was easy. Yep, body.
Yeah.
That's yep, that one. Um, Too funny. Also, I don't know. There's this thing that happens. I was a massage therapist for a long time, and when you're a massage therapist, you are working with creams and oils all the time. So I never noticed that my skin wasn't hydrated all the time because
Sure.
it during work hours it certainly was. Plus, I was younger, and now that I'm not, and I'm living in LA, which is incredibly dry, like
Mm,
I notice how quickly my hands get dry. And the thing, it sounds really strange because there are other things that ravage your body as you get older. But one of the things that absolutely happens is your body loses its moisture,
yeah.
which is why your skin cracks and why, anyway, it's just part of the equation. So the longer you can stay hydrated, the younger you look, or the better you feel. Anyway, all that to be
Definitely.
said, I miss having permanently soft skin because every once in a while when it gets really dry, I'm like,
Oh.
I know. First word problems. It's not a real problem. It's just that's how I notice I'm not in a 30-year-old body anymore. That's all. And I can't I mean I can, but they're in front of me, so I'm gonna let you choose the next one as well. 1 through 5.
Let's do 4.
Where it is. Do 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 do. Oh, it's a blank. It's a fill in the blank.
Uh-oh.
Um, I wish I could share blank with humankind. How long do we have?
Yeah, right.
Do you want me to start this one off or do you want to take it?
Sure, you got it.
Um, I wish I could share the foundational knowledge I believe should be required in high school with
Mm,
humankind. I
mm,
know
that's
this
good.
has come up before, but uh I started this like series called Everything I Need to Know I Should Have Learned in High School because for me, when I got into when I finally did all 4 years of college, and I did it through a community college, and the transfer credits went to a Jesuit university. So this is Regis University. And as part of a Jesuit university, they require both religion and philosophy courses, which was actually kind of cool because for me, world religion is, like we should all learn it. That's great.
Yeah.
But if you're not learning it with philosophy, you are missing part of the importance of it, right?
Mm,
And so one class I took, I only bring it up because this poor dude, young fellow, as is often true in college. And this is the philosophy of religion. That is to say, we're going to think about the questions that religion seeks to answer in a philosophical way. We're just going to argue the merits of it, not, how dedicated are we to it? This isn't a personal anything. And this poor guy, because most of it was set up like a debate, you have to understand this side in order to, you know, to discuss it with the other side.
mm,
And he was asked to debate something that was um, basically not in alignment with his beliefs and could not understand the opposite, viewpoint to the point where he asked to change sides, which kind of defeats the purpose of the class in the first place, which is you have to get out of your personal experiences
yeah.
and just think logically. Um, and part of what occurred to me is he kept saying, like, this was such a big part of my life and it saved me. And when it's that deep and that personal, of course, you're not going to be able to depart from what you believe versus what is, very full of proof, right? Evidential. And had he been asked those questions earlier, even just to plant the seed, he would have had more of an ability to depart from the debate or depart from his personal feelings so that he could participate in the debate. Um, so for me, things like psychology, philosophy, world religions, so that we can understand other people's positions, even if we don't agree with them, we understand them. We can appreciate them.
Sure.
Um, and the reason I feel like that should be shared with humankind is because we, at least in America, have this way of telling young people you are either meant for something technical or meant for something elevated, but don't really give yourself a chance to be both,
Yeah.
which on the face of it robs people of the richness of their participation in society because we all have the ability to have financial wellness. We all have the ability to understand our part and our role in, environment. We all have, the capacity to understand our choices and the weight that they carry and the control we have over them because psychology is a big part of that, not just philosophy, but like, what are you choosing to do in this moment? And acknowledge that it's on you, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me share. Because there are lots of different versions of that as well. But I think that's the core of it, which is, I think we're robbing young adults of the opportunity to actually, you know, get their adult training wheels in high school before they're legally, you know, facing consequences as adults, you know?
Yeah. I agree. When I left high school, I felt like I was underprepared for not just college, but generally life. I know that that probably sounds a little weird, but like there was a certain amount of that is just like experience and understanding what happens, like as you just get older or like live by yourself and whatnot. But like I don't know. I feel like that I agree with you. There is a good amount of the of general curriculum that can be uh redesigned to better fit not only the needs of like high schoolers today, but also like uh but not just like what they should know, like algebra and math or history and religion and theology or woodworking even, but like they should. What am I trying to say here? I had a train of thought and then it just left. It should prepare them for other life skills as well, like
Yeah.
learning how to fix a car. I didn't know. I had to learn how to change a tire by my dad, and I love that, and I'm glad I had that ability, but not everyone does. But what every kid has, or what every kid should have, is high school.
Yep.
And like if everyone was just generally able to learn those things and had that basis of a knowledge across the board, I feel like a lot of things would be easier or at least go significantly smoother.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just unfortunate that that isn't how it is currently.
No, and I think you make a good point, which is like it's not that those lessons aren't available to you. And the argument at the other end of it is there's no way to fully prepare you. There's always going to be
Oh
something
yeah,
that slips through the cracks. However, the fact that we're teaching higher level math like calculus and not teaching basic things like, accounting
right.
when people are responsible for their personal finances is insane
Yeah,
at the core
I
of it.
I agree. I
Um,
agree.
but and I think some part of it is because one, there hasn't been enough opportunity or money to change the system or upgrade the system. And certainly no incentive because nobody really wants, you know, people with critical thinking and being critical of the powers that be.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm all for being critical, like um pushback is the name of the game. But at the other end of that, it's also the people with the money who are usually pushing technology. Technology is almost always the important part, not the lesson behind it. And when you have the 1-2 punch of like the parental units going, make all the accommodations for my child, and you have the technological people who are going, use this tech in your schools, regardless of whether or not it serves the greater lesson, then you're serving two masters that isn't the student.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so again, I'd love to share it if for nothing else to slowly begin to implement it. I mean, that's why TED Talks became so popular because it was purely information, right?
Yeah.
Lots of intention with it, but purely information. Um, and how many teachers use TED Talks now as a like basis for
Right.
the conversation? Um, anyway, I digress. Thank you for listening. Hey, Matt, what would you share with humankind?
This probably sounds very I don't know, young and hopeful or whatever, but like free medicine. I think
Mm,
it's crazy that we live in an age of just so much money and so much technological advancement, and yet there are very preventable or at the very least treatable diseases and illnesses worldwide that just go unnoticed or go untreated because it's somewhere else, because it's not here, because it's not on the rich people's agenda or whatever. Sorry. But no, I don't know. Like even like in the United States, it is a problem of people just not being able to afford medical issues that they need that like are necessary in order for them to live or live a life without pain or in less pain, and they can't. Or a company decides that it is not favorable for them or something. And that just sucks. That just sucks to read, and it sucks to have, not that I currently have family in that position, but like I have known people where that has been the case, and like that just is terrible. And
yeah.
it's if it's this terrible here, it is only worse in like other countries and stuff. So I don't
Oh
know,
yeah.
free medicine. I wish that there was just like a CVS on every corner, like everywhere. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but
Yeah, honestly, I even wonder if free medicine is the solution. I feel like my version of that is free diagnosis because
Mm,
it seems to me like because the part that makes the industry money is the medication, that
sure.
we overlook the diagnosis altogether in service of here, try this and
That's
see if it
fair.
works. Right? And it's like, no, 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 no. You have the equipment to figure it out. You have
Yeah,
the critical thinking to go through the troubleshooting steps that doesn't include the medication. And if you're not leaning on those tools, then you're a servant of the pill pusher. You're a servant of the
that's fair.
industry, not me, as
Yeah.
your patient.
I'll
Um,
correct my statement then. Free
no.
medical like uh assistance, free medical
Mm,
uh healthcare, free work. I don't know. I don't, what's the
yeah.
right word there? Just just the medical industrial complex worldwide. There you go.
And they do, I mean, I think that's why Doctors Without Borders is so impactful,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Um,
I love that. I love
but
that organization.
yeah, me too. Um, but I think that's a great one. Good call. And for those of you who are listening, you're like, wait, weren't we here to talk about industry stuff? Look, I think people forget sometimes that like when you're getting to know anyone in your work environment or before they become part of your work environment, like if you don't take the time to kind of get to know them as a person, then there is, you know, it's almost like creating a hurdle for cohesion. You know what I mean? It's amazing how much easier it is for people to come to work, to show up and do their best when they feel like they're in a group of friends, as opposed to a group of people who just sit at a distance with arms folded, with, heavy with expectation and not at all attempting to bridge the gap. Um, so thanks, man. Thanks for
Of course.
taking a little moment to get to know
Th-
me.
Thanks for getting to know me.
Yeah, man. Um, all right. I feel like we need to move on to the victory round because if we don't, it is very possible we'll forget and just keep getting to know each other because it's so easy to just chit chat. But I do recommend for anybody who is listening, whether you're listening live or you're listening as part of the recording, highly recommend this little game, Actually Curious. And they do have different versions, a happy hour, or if you're looking for something a little more in depth. Super inexpensive, available both on their website and through pretty major stores like Barnes and Noble. And you can use it pretty much anywhere. So take it with you to work or take it with you when you go out networking. It's a really great way to not rely on your own sense of like, hmm, here are new people and I'm not exactly sure how to connect with them. Let's see if we can play a game. And it's a little more in depth than just like Jenga.
Yeah,
Although that can be fun too.
I bet it'd
Um,
be fun to create D&D characters with those. Like if you were trying to really get like a good D&D campaign, like just ask those questions and answer in character.
yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh, I love this idea so much. Um, so hey, any victories from this past week that you wish to claim?
Yeah, sure. So I've been a video editor for learning for over 5 years now, and it's been great. And I have worked, but like just exclusively worked with video editing. Primarily Premiere Pro has been my thing, but I did some like free stuff before that. I've done like iMovie, whatnot. Um, but I have finally bitten the bullet, and I have finally started learning After Effects. And it's been a long time coming, and I've been a little confused, but I've already made uh a cool like I think it's like 4 second, 5 second like animation intro thing that just says like welcome to After Effects. Um and I've made some like lower thirds type animations and stuff, and it's been super cool actually. I get why people like it. I understand it's like versatility, but it's definitely been a learning hurdle. Just because so much is different, so much is like it's just new, it's just a new program, new material, and learning that it doesn't like when you export stuff or render, like render is not export, or they're the same, but I want to say export, and then like it can only do it in certain ways, but if you want to save space, then it goes to like the media encoder. Like there's just so much more process now. It's just
Mm-hmm.
there's so much more process, and that's been a bit of a learning curve. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been cool. It's been cool to have it, and I'm excited to see where this journey goes because I like its detailedness. I can get lost. I feel like I can get lost in it very easily. So maybe that's not a good thing. But because like I'm the type of guy that like wants everything right. Like I want it to just be like keyframe, picture perfect. Like I will do everything one frame at a time if I have to. Uh, but the that's at the expense of time, and I don't always have that. So maybe it won't be, but I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna learn it, and that's me saying it on this recording. So, uh, but yeah, that's been my victory round. How about you?
That's amazing. Let me just a hearty cheers to finally learning Adobe After Effects.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, kudos to you, sir.
Thank you.
Truly. Mm. And
I'm
truly, I've been at the other end of that, and it is not easy, which is why I stayed in my little happy place, which is templates. Where I'm like, that looks close to what I'm looking for. I'm just going to plug it in and tweak it a little bit and run with it. And if I
Yeah.
need something custom later, that's round two.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because no. Before I forget, for those of you uh looking for actually curious, check it out here. Nope, that does not look like the link I'm looking for.
Uh,
Well, I
yeah,
guess it is.
it's been
There we go.
I feel like I'm just at the tip of the iceberg, you know? Like
Yeah,
there's definitely more. Like I could get so in depth about stuff I don't even like know yet, you know?
yeah.
But it feels good to finally like start chipping the marble at it and like be like, okay, okay, this is a pretty good hammer. I should probably keep using it.
Well, especially, and I know I've done the same thing because I'm a monkey see, monkey do kind of person. When I see examples of people doing videos online, I'm like, okay, that's how I want mine to look.
Yeah,
How do I need to do that better next time?
right.
Um, and I'm still the quality will always come. I think the consistency is the thing that is harder, which is why for our mental health, we're doing this once a
Ooh.
week because if we don't, it will slip away.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, no, just keep up with it, man. I think you're gonna do great.
thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
and
What's
without
been
getting
your
into
victory?
details, I've seen your work and it looks pretty
Uh,
good, man. So great
Thank you.
job.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Um, more on that soon. Wahaha.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
All to be revealed.
I don't even know what my victory this week is. I have so many things going on simultaneously. Um, Last night's victory, not even this week's victory, but last night's victory, I was toiling over a bio I had to write, my bio for an event that I had to kind of rework in order to make it appealing for people to work with me, which, okay, I know you can see the squirm in my face. I promise I'm not. Yep, I'm about to out myself. I am not a humble person. I say that because I really hate people who waste my time. And so I think sometimes humility is a waste of time. Just tell me.
Mm,
Don't like kick
yeah.
dirt or dig your toe in the sand. Just tell me. And if
Yeah.
you can't tell me, then you might have a self-esteem problem. And that isn't actually my problem. And I say that full well knowing that I have been on the other side of that conversation where I have not been confident in something I was doing. And someone pulled me aside going, you have a confidence problem, right? And I'm like, oh, damn. um, so, turnabout is fair play. Um, so knowing that it's not a matter of humility, knowing that it's a matter of I I I'm a project oriented person. So most of my life has been I dive into a thing, I rock it, I move on. I was doing professional theater straight out of high school. My first internship was the summer after I graduated, and I was the only one getting paid because they weren't teaching me anything. After that, I started working for Signature Theater, which, if you look up Signature Theater, not only is it a major player in the DC area, but like they get people in from Broadway all the time because it is like a hub for musical theater in DC.
Wow.
And definitely a stepping stone into the Kennedy Center, which is the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
And when I worked for Signature Theater as a freshman in college, I was their like master electrician, which meant I was there for the
Wow.
light hang, not as one of the lighting like grunts. So I had seniors that were working for me,
That's awesome.
right? So, but when you try to like boil it down outside of like the story, it's really hard to be like, I've done theater, I've done television, I went to film
Sure.
school, I've done commercials and I've done films and I was on the production manager track and that I was like, y'all seem to think I only do logistical things and you're so wrong. Um, so there's just a laundry list and you have to find like a cool way to like massage it into something that sounds like, hey. You should come learn how to write with me. Anyway,
Yeah.
all that to be said, I'm not humble, but it is still very hard to sell myself. And I think some part of the victory was also just owning up to the fact that I am now finally in a place to say I'm building on a thing, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Um, and for me, that's really exciting because I'm really good with projects because I have a lot of energy at the top of a thing and I have just enough energy to get me to the end of a thing. And then it's like I'm out. You know what
Yeah.
I did my part. And that's where my peak responsibility is really there. If you ask me to be responsible long term, like I should not be a shop owner because if I have to
Yeah.
go to the same place every day in the same way, shoot me.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, that's why I liked massage for so long was because I may have been doing the same kind of thing, but I was always adjusting to the person. And so
Right.
every day was a new thing.
Sure.
Um, anyway, all that to be said, the thing that I'm building is very much surrounding StoryMath. So, you know, even though last year was very much project oriented, I was still breaking story. And then it was client oriented and I was still breaking story. And then I figured out how to kind of package that process as a workshop. And then I am still boiling down the process so that people could take it as a workbook or as a course or a program. So it's self-guided at that point. So
Hmm.
I'm building.
Right.
And it feels really good to build
Yeah.
because then when it's done, I can just like I can not just set it free, but be like, look, I'm done. And I can
Right.
move on. And that little engine can just go on its own. Um, yeah. So in a
That's
way,
awesome.
oh God, this whole week has been writing. Now that I think on it, I wrote a blog that was 3,000 words in like a
Wow.
day.
Wow.
Yeah. I wrote another
Wow.
one that was 1,500 words in an hour and a half.
Jeez.
But I know the material so well that I could just like crank it out. And look,
Sure.
so I wrote it in an hour and a half, and then there's the holding place before they publish it, and I'm reading
Sure.
through it. I'm like, well, that needs to be edited, and that needs to be edited, and you still need a picture here, so it's still gonna need like another hour of like tweaking. But
Yeah.
like, there was a lot of writing this week. So by the time I got to my bio, I was like,
Right.
you want me to talk about myself? No. Um, anyway, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the cheers. I appreciate that.
Of course. No. Cheers to you.
Thank you, sir.
Victories all around.
Yay. I love how your black bottle just matches your whole like motif.
Oh, yeah, I guess it does. I I normally put stickers on everything. I have a pile of stickers right here that are just waiting, a whole box of them just waiting for something good. Uh, but every black thing I get is like shiny. And so I love like it looks good when there's a sticker on it, but this was I specifically got matte black.
Mm,
And I like that it is not super reflective. I like that it is not like super shiny. It doesn't like it blends in way better with my shirt, even with the light like right on it. Um, and so I've refused to put a sticker on it, but I don't have anything good to put a sticker on, and I also really want to put a sticker on something, which I don't know. May call that weird, but I think stickers are cool. I still think stickers are cool, and I love putting them on everything, on anything that I can.
just throwing it out there. If ever you need like a DJ name or like a radio name, or in this case, a podcast name, I think you should think about Matt Black,
That's good. That's that's clever. I like that a lot.
right? Um, just throwing it out there. Sometimes it's nice to have your real name attached to things, but like, if you need like a personality,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
But just as like an exploratory question for you, Matt, because I'm curious, like, what would you love to see like be elevated or be expanded upon in the industry moving forward?
Um, Let me see. I guess I had talked about it earlier, but I'll talk about it again. And that is uh I hope that there is a better agreement in the industry within studios against using AI for art, or it should be said, exclaimed, part of the project in some way that they're advertised as part of the project in which you can't get away from not knowing that an AI is attached to it.
Oh yeah.
Um, like I think AI is a cool tool, and I am not against it for what it can do or what some people are trying to do to it, but I think that it is a bridge too far for robots to be making the art and humans to not be making the art. I feel like that is the point of robots, is to do non-art stuff so that way humans can naturally do art stuff. Um, and I think it sucks when um, you know, movie producers or large studios or whatever choose to take the easy route, choose to take the cheaper route and get what I think is a worse product or a cheapened product by using something that didn't take the time and energy and resources that it should take to make a thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm seeing that. I guess I can't name like a movie off the top of my head or whatever, but I like the what comes to mind is like Coca-Cola's commercial from a year or two ago, and I think of like I feel like I've seen a couple other ads and commercials and stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of like YouTube ads that are just made with AI, and I think it's so annoying. Like, in case ads weren't annoying enough, now you're gonna get like some AI voice and some random picture to be taught. I don't know. It's too much, man.
Yeah, I
I
actually
want that to
got
be elevated.
uh, cheers to that, man. No, the other day the official trailer for Tron Ares came out. Is that what it
Okay,
is? I know it's Tron. It's the next in the Tron series.
sure.
Um, which we were all kind of hoping for because
Mhm.
let me just back up and say Tron Legacy
Yeah,
was enough, right? Like even if the story was kind of, it was enough. But the
yeah,
thing that really sold it was the world building, which was always true of Tron. Even when you
Mhm.
look back at Tron, it's a little cheesy. Like the pacing
Sure.
is weird, right? The story's a little meh.
Yeah,
But the concept is so wild and the effects are so engaging.
yeah.
And even the idea of like light becoming matter is
Hmm.
fascinating, right?
Yeah.
So Tron Legacy did what it needed to do. So Tron Ares is kind of banking on that same equation, right? Which
Hmm.
is the soundtrack is owned by an entire entity. And so it's going to have its like a very specific feel to it, right? It's like
Hmm.
having a chef come in and make your entire day's meal. Breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, and dinner is all going to have the same vibe.
Right.
Um, cool. So we know we're gonna get the soundtrack. We know we're gonna get some cool effects and some cool fight scenes. Um, and probably the story's gonna be like meh, right? And I saw another trailer for it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting because the cover looked like AI, and I was like, now that's interesting because based on the fact that this is literally not just about light becoming matter. This is now about a computer program figuring out how to become matter,
Yeah.
right? That's the purpose of this story. Again, fascinating. And
Hmm.
because we're basically talking about a character who is AI, I was like, did they choose to do AI? Because that's really
Mm.
meta.
Yeah.
And here's where I got fooled. Because usually I look at it and I'm like, oh, stop with the AI art. Stop with it. I don't want to see it.
Hmm.
However, in this case, I thought it was part of the story because it kind of makes sense for the story.
Sure.
And I got roped into this trailer and I was like, I don't understand what I'm watching right now. And then I was like, oh, because it's a fan trailer
Gotcha.
and it is not made clear that it is.
Yeah.
And so part of the distinction for me isn't just this is AI. It's also that this is not sanctioned. This is not approved. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, like that's how marketing works sometimes. Anyway, I noticed that I've kept on for about an hour, and I feel like we should tidy this up a bit. Not to mention my coffee is just about done.
Wah, wah. Time to get another
Wah
cup.
wah. But hey, I will leave because I put together a little Google form so that if there are any people that, I have not had the chance to meet and you would like to be a guest on the podcast, drop us submit through the form. Let us know what you want to kind of talk about, what it is you do. And yeah, let's have a proper cup of tea. Um, I
That'd be
think that's
awesome.
the majority of it, right? Uh, I love meeting new people. I really, really do. But I also just love the exchange of information. That's why when you said it the last time, I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Um, yeah, because I think we grow and we learn when we are introduced to a diversity of thought, and that can only happen when we open ourselves up to it. So thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for giving ourselves a chance to expand our horizons.
Thank you.
All right, guys, have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we will see you next. It'll be either be Thursday or Friday because sometimes people's schedule doesn't align, and you gotta meet people where they are, just like Ted Lasso. So that's all I got for now. Thank you, Matt. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Wherever you're listening from, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It really does help. This episode is brought to you by Off Duty Thanks, a gift and apparel brand that invites connection while respecting boundaries. Wear your hat, hoodie, or t-shirt about town or to those oh so important networking events. Check out the different off-duty versions at offdutythanks.shop. And be sure to grab something for your favorite friend in the film, television, or media industry. Today's episode was also made possible by Owl Echo Entertainment. You can learn more about them and their production work at owlecho.com. Head over to owlecho.com to see what we've got coming up. New podcast episodes, events, writing workshops, and consulting services. Today's episode was hosted by yours truly, Kay Ross, co-hosted by the incomparable Matt York, produced by the amazing Lane Ewing, edited by Matt York. Yeah, he really does do everything. Opening music by The Midnight with their track America Online. And of course, follow us on Instagram and TikTok to stay in the loop. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. Bye now.